Hi, my name is Tiana Karamayas and I'm a Cavoodle puppy coach and breeder for Noodle Way and River City Puppies. As a coach, my philosophy is simple. A Cavoodle should always complement your lifestyle, not complicate it. And this is the foundation to everything I teach. For almost the past decade, I have been working in the breeding, training, grooming, and veterinary sectors of the small animal industry. I've also been raising Cavoodles for the past 16 years, so I have definitely learned a thing or two about the breed along the way. Now this podcast is all about Cavoodles. Raising Cavoodles, training Cavoodles, grooming Cavoodles, breeding Cavoodles, and how to shape the behavior of a Cavoodle puppy. So if you're a Cavoodle parent or you are looking at adding a Cavoodle to your family soon, then this podcast is for you. New episodes will be released each Tuesday morning, and you can follow me across all social media under the name @OodleWay for more tips and advice on Cavoodles. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, welcome back to episode 13 of the Cavoodle Coach podcast, Rebooted. My name is Tiana Karamayas and I'm your host. I can't believe we're already on to episode 13. I have been consistently now putting these podcasts out for 3 months and I'm quite proud of myself. This week's episode is going to be quite short because at the moment in my life, I am currently in the midst of getting ready to have 2 Cavoodle litters born in the next sort of week and a half. So ahead of me today, I have a big day of setting up the whelping area, cleaning, washing, sanitizing, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to keep this nice and short, but still full of so much value. Now, today, the topic I wanted to address was where your puppy should sleep. And this is obviously a really pressing and important question that everyone is going to be asking themselves when they are getting a puppy. Now, I'm going to be talking about Cavoodles because, again, this is what I specialize in. I know Cavoodles back to front. I have raised that many of them, and I know this is the best solution for them to get them to sleep through the night without waking up, and also to give them a place they feel really safe and really comfortable. As we know, Cavoodles, they are more of a nervous breed. They are definitely prone to anxiety. They are prone to being more stressed and more scared. So we always have to make sure that everything we do with our Cavoodle puppy, limiting their stress and limiting their anxiety, is at the forefront of our mind and all of our decisions. So with that said, whenever someone is getting a new Cavoodle puppy and they ask me where their puppy should sleep, 100% hands down, every single time, my answer is a crate. Now, if we skipped back to probably 10 years ago, if someone had told me they were crate training their dogs, my first reaction would be, that is so cruel. I cannot believe you're going to put your puppy in a crate all night. How could you do that? That's so mean and so hard and cruel on them. They should be able to walk around and explore. That would have been my reaction, which I know that a lot of people still share that reaction. 10 years down the track now, which brings us to today, I know that the purpose of a crate is not to be mean or to be cruel. It's actually to pose as a bedroom for your puppy, similar to how you would put a baby in a crib at night and not just lay them on the floor and let them roll around everywhere. It is really beneficial to put a puppy in their own crib, which is a crate. So I'm going to go through the benefits of crate training here. And these here, honestly, take it from someone who has, a 16-year-old Cavoodle and then many other Cavoodles. This is what's going to make your life easiest with your Cavoodle, especially if you plan to take them with you, on your daily outings, on the weekends, to coffee shops, to the beach, to the park, or maybe if you want to go and travel to some Airbnbs with them, take them on road trips, whatever the case is. If you're planning to involve your Cavoodle in your lifestyle and have them be more like a child than a dog, then you should listen to this. This is going to really help you. So the number one benefit of crate training, well, I'm not going to go in order of what's most beneficial. I'm just going to list out the benefits. The first one I have written down here is that it really makes travel very, very easy. Now, what I mean by this, number one, before your puppy has all of their vaccinations, they obviously can't go walking on grass because they are at risk of contracting many dangerous illnesses and diseases, parvovirus being the most pressing and the most, and if a puppy gets parvovirus, your puppy is very likely to die. So we can't have our puppies walking around on grass when they haven't received all of their puppy vaccinations yet, and they will receive all their puppy vaccinations by 16 weeks of age. If you have crate trained your puppy, it means that when you go out in public, you can take that crate with you and they have a place that is safe from the ground, and you can still take them out very, very easily. If you are wanting to go on a road trip, you can put the crate in your car, and this means your puppy is safe. You don't have to worry about, them falling off the seat, sticking their head too far out the window and falling out of the car. That does happen. It's a very safe and secure place for your puppy to be in. And it also means that if you do get into an accident, your puppy is going to be in the safest place possible. But also in terms of your own insurance, if your puppy was not secured down, your insurance can refuse to let you claim because you can't prove that your puppy didn't distract you. Whereas if your puppy is in a crate, insurance obviously can't refuse your claim because your puppy was secured and they were not distracting you. That's a little side note, both for safety of the puppy and also for your insurance. If you get into an accident, having your puppy in a crate is going to really benefit you there. In addition to this, like I said earlier, if you're wanting to go to different Airbnbs or different hotels, they're always going to be more willing to allow a dog into the hotel or into an Airbnb if they are crate trained, because it means at night, the hotel manager or the Airbnb owner is not going to be worrying that the puppy is going to be weeing all over the carpet and on the floorboards. So it just makes travel a little bit easier that way. In, the next year, if you live in Australia, if you live in America, this is already, a thing over there. But in Australia, in a year's time, we're actually going to start having plane flights happening where the dogs can be in the cabin of the plane rather than the cargo area. But one of the rules of this is going to be that your puppy and your dog must be in a crate. And so that means if your puppy isn't crate trained and you pop them on a plane in a crate, they're going to bark, they're going to fret, they're going to be anxious, they're going to cry, and they're going to have a horrible, horrible plane flight. And you're not going to have that freedom to take your puppy on the plane down to Sydney if you want to. And I don't know about you, but I definitely really want to be able to take my puppies with me on planes, and having them crate trained is going to make that so much more smooth, and you're going to be approved to take your puppy on the plane if they are crate trained. The final benefit of travel in regards to a crate is if you are wanting to go away and you can't take your dog with you, but you do need someone to look after your dog, if they're crate trained, you're going to have more people putting their hand up. No one wants to have a puppy in their house who's going to wee all through the house at nighttime, and they don't want a puppy in the house who's going to wake them up every few hours crying or walking around, scratching, digging in beds, whatever the case is. So if your puppy is crate trained, you're going to have more people putting their hands up to look after your puppy, which gives you the freedom to do more travel, go away for the weekend, whatever it is you want to do in your life. When you get a puppy, your lifestyle should not be put on pause. You should not have to feel restricted to your home and restricted in your movements. And crate training is one of the ways to make sure you don't have that restriction. Okay, so this leads me onto my second benefit of crate training, and that's that it significantly helps with toilet training. Your puppy, and I am going to say this, your puppy's not going to be toilet trained if they're walking around in a room all night. They're not going to be toilet trained because they're going to wake up and they're going to wee. They're going to wake up and they're going to wee, and they're going to walk away from this wee to sleep somewhere. Now, the reason why that's important is a puppy is never going to wee where they're sleeping, and that's why crate training is so beneficial, because your puppy is going to naturally be forced to hold on to their bladder during the night so that they don't wee where they're sleeping. And that's going to teach them bladder control, which is going to significantly help and speed up your toilet training. If you didn't do this and you put your puppy in a playpen and they have that separate area where they can go to the toilet, your toilet training is going to take a lot longer. So crate training really, really helps with toilet training. Again, don't make sure you don't have a crate that's too big. We don't want our puppy to wee in one corner and sleep in the other. Now, this doesn't mean that your puppy is going to be forced to hold their bladder all night and be in pain. That's absolutely not the case. If your puppy wakes up in the middle of the night crying, we obviously are going to take them to the toilet. But because they're in a smaller space, it means that they're more likely to sleep through the night. And your puppy at 8 weeks of age is more than capable to sleep through the night while holding their bladder. It's only if they wake up that they will be busting, but they are capable to sleep through the night while holding their bladder. All of my puppies who I breed, they go home at 8 weeks and they are all sleeping through the night in their crates already. So it's definitely possible, and crate training is definitely going to speed up your toilet training. Okay, so the next benefit of crate training is that it does give your puppy a safe space. It's their bedroom, it's their crib, And this will definitely lower your cavoodle's anxiety. If your puppy doesn't have a space to go to where they can feel safe and they can get, in a safe environment where they can get some separation from the kids, if you have young kids, for example, your puppy is going to be anxious. And we all know that when your puppy starts to feel anxious and that anxiety starts to skyrocket, your puppy is going to have a rush of adrenaline and they're going to start doing all of these behaviors subconsciously to try and lower that adrenaline. And these behaviors are things like biting, chewing, crying, barking, digging, all of the things we definitely don't want to see in our puppy. So it is really important to make sure that wherever your puppy is, they have a safe space to go to. And because a crate is so easy to move around, it means that you can move it around with your puppy, wherever your puppy is, if you go to a coffee shop, if you go to a friend's house, if you're just in the lounge room rather than the bedroom, you can always take that crate with you. So your puppy will always have that area that is their safe space that they can go into. And in addition to this, it also does help to create a boundary with children. If you do have a puppy around young children, a very easy rule to implement is that the children aren't allowed to drag the puppy out of the crate. When the puppy goes in the crate, the children give the puppy space. And it means that there's not going to be any irritation from the puppy, and there's not going to be a situation where the kids keep trying to force themselves onto a puppy who is trying to tell them they don't want it, and then a puppy will have no choice but to bite to really get the message across. So a crate can provide a really good distinction there for some quiet time for the puppy and quiet time for the children. So again, really, really beneficial there. Now, another benefit of crate training is that it will prepare them for the groomer and the vet. If you are grooming from home, that's wonderful. I do have a course called Oodle Way Home Groom where I will teach you how to groom your cavoodle from home, and I'll leave a link to that under this episode. But if you are sending your puppy to a professional groomer, they do get put in crates to dry off a lot of the time, or even if the groomer has a playpen section for the puppies, if your puppy is anxious at the groomers, the puppy is going to get removed from that playpen area and put into a place by themselves, and it will be a crate. It also is a place where a lot of puppies are put into to help hair dry them, because the groomer, I used to work in a grooming salon, so the groomer will have these standing hair dryers, and so if you put the puppy in a crate, you can obviously direct that standing hair dryer on the puppy, which speeds up the drying there so that the groomer can be working on another dog while your puppy is drying. So if your puppy has not been crate trained and you send them to the groomer, again, their anxiety is going to skyrocket. They're going to develop fears. And if your puppy develops fears of grooming and handling, not only is your groomer going to have to charge you extra for the grooming appointments, because if your dog is a difficult dog to groom, that takes longer and therefore the groomer has to charge more, your puppy is going to be so stressed. And we do not want our dogs to be stressed. We do not want our cavoodles to have anxiety, because that'll bleed into every other aspect of their life. They'll start getting nervous when you're just handling them in general. They'll start getting nervous around loud noises, and it's a really difficult environment to be in. So crate training your puppy means when they go to the groomer, they're going to be more comfortable, which is another really big benefit. In terms of the vet, when your puppy goes to get desexed, or if they're ever going to the vet because they've been sick, maybe they have been vomiting, puppies vomit all the time, maybe they've been vomiting, having some diarrhea, and they need to go and stay in the hospital for 24 hours. Unfortunately, at the vet, they're going to have to put your puppy in a crate out the back. So again, that means your puppy is in a situation where they can either be very, very stressed and anxious and scared, or they can feel more relaxed and safe, which is going to benefit their recovery, and it's going to make your vet's job easier. They're not going to have to sedate your dog or anything like that. So crate training, the benefits are just, I could keep going on and on and on. But if you're just thinking about this, from your perspective as a family, it's going to speed up that toilet training. Your puppy will sleep through the night much better if they're in the crate. And I cannot recommend it enough. Look, if we're going to talk about crates, I don't love the wire crates. I much prefer fabric crates. It's a bit more homey. It's a bit more warm. So if you're tossing up between crates, I always say go with a fabric crate, but it'll be the best decision you make, and you want to implement that routine from day one. Now, hopefully your breeder has crate trained your puppy. A good breeder will do that extra work for you as a family. If your breeder hasn't crate trained your puppy, it means you'll have to start it when you bring your puppy home, and there is a desensitization process you will have to follow to make sure your puppy forms a positive association with the crate and is happy to sleep through it at night without being scared. If your puppy has never been enclosed before at 8 weeks and you shove them in a crate at night, they're going to have a very stressful, terrifying, distraught first night. And so we want to spend some time that first day doing some desensitization and increasing that positive association between the puppy and the crate. So if you are getting a Cavoodle puppy and I have convinced you to crate train them, yay, my job is done. You will thank me. It's the best thing you'll do. I do have a course, Oodle Way Puppy Prep, and in that course, I teach you how to crate train your puppy amongst many other topics such as socialization, desensitization, enrichment, food, vaccinations, parasite control, literally everything you need to know to raise a Cavoodle and shape their behavior. So I will link that down below if you want to have a look at that course. I will teach you how to crate train your puppy. You'll thank yourself forever. But if you are not getting a puppy quite yet, and maybe you're getting a puppy more towards the end of the year, then I have another product coming out, a program coming out that I am so excited about. If you've been listening to a few episodes, you would have heard me speaking a little bit about it in the past, I think maybe 2 or 3 episodes, but essentially, I am creating a Cavoodle planner, a daily schedule for you and your new Cavoodle so you can follow it. You won't have to stress. I will do all of the thinking for you. You just have to pick up that planner and go, okay, on Tuesday breakfast, we're doing this. Tuesday lunch, we're doing this. Tuesday dinner, we're doing this. And throughout this planner, you're going to be learning about obviously how to crate train your dog, how to toilet train your dog, how to train your puppy, how to groom your puppy. And then also so much in there about teaching your puppy how to regulate their emotions and impulse control so that you can take your Cavoodle out in public without them being anxious, without them pulling on the lead, without them barking in excitement, it's pretty much designed to make your life with your puppy easy and to have a well-behaved, attentive, loyal dog. And so that product's going to be coming out more towards the end of the year. So if you're not getting a Cavoodle right now, I would encourage waiting for that product. But if you are getting one this month, next month, then Oodle Way Puppy Prep is a course that will teach you how to crate train your puppy properly, as well as the toilet training, the socialization, the desensitization, and the vaccinations and the parasite control, the critical socialization period, setting up the house, all of that. Okay, so that's all I have to say in today's episode. If you have any questions about anything I've said or any of the courses I've mentioned and you're interested, feel free to send me an email, hello@oodleway.co, and I will let you know which course is going to help you best with what you're looking for with your puppy. And if you have any other questions or if you have any sort of topics on your mind that you would like me to talk about in the podcast, feel free to send me an email with these topics. If it's a topic that enough people are going to be asking about, then I will record an episode on it. That always helps, give me some inspiration for some episode ideas. So again, email me hello@oodleway.co, and I will add that to the list of, inspiration I have for episodes. One last thing, if you are interested in my Cavoodle planner that I am creating, and you would like to have some more behind the scenes and updates on this product as I create it, you can send me a DM on Instagram with the word behavior. I'll then add you onto my close friends list, and this is where I am sharing the creation of this product as well as working very closely with you to make sure that the product is going to answer everything you're looking for in a Cavoodle planner and questions you have about getting a puppy and really what you're looking for. So if you want to be involved in that process, DM me on Instagram. My handle is @oodleway_. DM me the word behavior and I'm getting so tongue twisted right now. I'll add you onto my close friends list. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you've learned anything new, please leave me a rating and a review. That's how we can spread this podcast further, and I can help more families as they are getting ready for their Cavoodle and raising their Cavoodle to complement their lifestyle and not complicated. I would really appreciate it. I do read all the reviews and the ratings, and it makes my day. It makes this podcast worth it because this is a free podcast, and so I want it to help as many people as possible. Okay, I will see you in the next episode. This has been your Cavoodle coach, Tiana Karamayas. See you later.